Welcome to Hub. I hope you guys are all having a great day. Who here is loving the sermon series that we are in? You heard me. That's the name of the sermon series. If you didn't know that, you have to go back and watch the sermons on YouTube. You will be encouraged. You'll be built up. It will be a good experience for you. This past Sunday, Pastor Justin preached a message called No Days Off. As someone who has taken a couple days off when it comes to working out or physical training, I know how hard it is to get back into it. But I can tell you right now that it is worth getting back into. In this new year, I have signed up for working out with CY. And if you watched on Sunday, you would have seen CY show us a couple of moves. Well, in CY's workout program, Sundays are off. So I decided, you know what, no days off. That being said, I haven't actually been in a gym in a long time, and I haven't actually lifted weights in a long time. So I went in with all confidence. I picked up my weights. They weren't very heavy, and I started doing my weights. And it is now Tuesday, and I cannot move my arms. And I woke up last night in the middle of the night in just extreme pain, and I had to rub A535 on my arms to try to loosen my muscles up a little bit. Not very big muscles, but muscles nonetheless. And so I know how tough it is to get back into something when you've had many days off. I want to encourage you, if getting into growing in your relationship with God, you've had quite a few days off, it is worth the pain to get back into the groove. It is worth the pain to get back into the groove of being able to say you've had no days off. And the beauty of it is God doesn't hold anything against us. He actually encourages us to come and to grow in our relationship with him. It says that it's his kindness that leads us towards him. So we can know that, okay, there might be a little bit of pain, there might be a little bit of challenge, there might be a little bit of struggle, but it is so worth it. Paul says in Timothy 4, he says in verse 8, "For physical training is of some value, but godliness has value for all things." So it is important to be in shape. There's so many things to gain from it. There's taking care of your body, which is a temple. There's the discipline aspect. But on a whole nother level, growing in godliness is so much more important, though we shouldn't neglect the physical training as well. All that being said, in 1 Timothy 4, verse 12, it says this: "Do not let anyone look down on you because you are young, but set an example for the believers in speech, in conduct, in love, in faith, and in purity." We're going to park and we're going to talk about those 5 things, and you guys will have a chance to discuss them after this video. But don't let anyone look down on you. When I was in the gym, people were looking down at me because my first set looked real good. And then my second set, I just couldn't do it. So I looked really bad in there. And people were able to look down on me. But when it comes to spiritual things, when it comes to growing in all of these areas, we have an opportunity to grow. It's actually when people get to see us grow, that's when they get to see the goodness of God in our life. So the first part is be an example in speech. What are you talking about? Are you encouraging people? Are you speaking ill of people? Let's be above reproach in those areas. Let's be so good in those areas. Let's speak well of people. Let's encourage people. Let's build people up. Let's allow our words to be just an encouragement to people around us. Let our words be a blessing to the people around us. And when we don't have anything good to say, let's just not say it. So that's an area that we can grow in. In conduct. Number 2, conduct. How are you living your life? Is your life respectable to the people around you? It's easy to be respectable to people who aren't close to you, but are the people who are closest in your life respecting you? I think that we have to be an example in the way we conduct ourselves. We have to be an example in living a life that's worthy of respect. And the cool thing about it is, as we start to grow in that, people will start to see us differently. They'll start to see the work of God in our lives. So let's be good in our conduct. Let's be respectable. Number 3 is in love. Are we living loving lives, or are we living in a place where we haven't been filled up with the love of God, so we can't actually give the love of God? I think one of the important things is that we need to receive it in order to give it. It actually has to flow through us. It can't just be something that we muster up or we conjure up and just like give out love bombs. I think we actually have to receive the love and the grace of God. We have to receive the goodness of God in order to give it to people. So I want to ask you, do you need to receive more of the love of God so that you can live a loving life? That might be something you need to grow in. Number 4 is in faith. Are you trusting God that his ways for you are good? We have an opportunity to trust God. We have an opportunity to bring things to him. We have an opportunity to pray about things, to really allow him to be made big in our lives. So I want to ask you, are you trusting God? Do you believe that his plans for you are to prosper you, not to harm you, but to give you hope in a future? Do you believe that you can bring things to God right away, big or small? Do you believe that? That might be something you need to grow in. So the 5th thing is in purity. What is the motives of your heart? Do you need to grow in having a pure heart before God? Do you need to grow in being able to, do you need to grow in having good motives towards things? I think God is different than man. Man sees the outside, whereas God sees the heart. God sees the little motives, the little things that humans don't necessarily see all the time. Is your heart pure before God? It's not just a sexual thing, and it's not just like an anger thing or anything like that. It's, are your motives pure before God? I think we all probably have to grow in one way or another in that area. And if that's something that you need to grow in, why don't you discuss that with your hub? And we'll have a chance to pray for all of these things. So in your hub, we'll have a chance to talk in just a moment. And I want you to say one of the areas that you want to grow in. And it's either going to be in speech, conduct, love, faith, or purity. So why don't you guys take a minute, talk about it, pray, encourage one another, and have a great rest of your hub. Love you guys.